Welcome to the Module 4 of Microsoft Word application. In this module, we are going to learn how to create clean data tables and set up page numbers. These are the two things we are going to look at in this module. As far as our project works and our assignments, quizzes are concerned, and also office services are concerned, after this module, we should be able to create tables or insert tables to our document and also set up page numbers, which is very important when it comes to navigation through your work. When your page number is set, it helps you to navigate through your work very easy. We are going to start with the creation or inserting of the data tables. How do we create or insert these tables? Which tools, features, or where can we locate these tools? And I always stated earlier in the previous models, the ribbon is very important bar in Microsoft Word. That if you want to become an expert in Microsoft Word, you have to master the ribbon. You have to know the various tabs in this ribbon and their various tools. Most especially the most commonly used tools in Microsoft Word. And make sure you know these tools or some of these tools can be found. So now where do we locate these table tools or features that we can use to create or insert tables in our document? We can locate these tools or features in the insert tab of the ribbon. And where can we locate this insert tab? After the home tab is the insert tab. So I'll click on it and I have these tools. And the tools under the insert tab are grouped. As we have the first group pages, second group tables, illustrations, and the rest. So our focus for this table creation will be on the tables group. So if I click on the tables group, I have this drop down, and there are several options here that I can use to insert my table. The first option that you are seeing, these boxes, plenty boxes that you are seeing, the first option, or this is one of the options that you can use to insert your table of a targeted number of rows and also targeted number of columns. Okay, so now if I want to create a table of 5 columns and also 3 rows, how do I do that? So I'll move my cursor to the first box. As you can see, I have 1 row there. So if I move 3 boxes vertical, I'll have my 3 rows. And if I move to my right horizontal, I'm going to have my number of columns. So I want 3 rows and I'm currently on 1 box. So I'm going to move 2 other boxes. 1, 2. And I have my 3 rows. So now how am I going to add the columns? 5 columns. So I'm going to move to my right horizontal to have my 5 columns created or added. And as you can see, my current position is inclusive. When I want to move horizontal to my right, my current position will be counted inclusive when I want to count the number of columns or steps I'll move for my number of columns. So I want 5 columns and I'm already in 1 box. So I'll move 4 other boxes horizontal to my right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, I have my 5 columns and my 3 rows. So I'll click on it and I'll have my successful table inserted. So also, if after inserting this number of rows and columns, I want to add another row or columns, worry not, I can do that, or you can do that without deleting the whole table to go and start again. So how do I add columns? So I will bring your cursor to, let's say I want to add a row after the first column. As you can see, when I bring my cursor to the left last corner of the first row, I have a plus sign there. I'll click on it and I'll have my new row added. So if I want a row to be added to this one, I'll come to this last end and I'll get my plus sign and I'll click on it. I have another row added. So if I want to add a column, I can come back to my insert tab and I'll come to tables and I'll pick my draw tool or pencil tool. Okay, and I'll have my pencil here ready to draw. If I want to add another column here, I'll draw. If I want to add column here, I'll draw. If I want to add here, I'll draw. So this is how we add columns and also rows. Maybe after inserting your table and the required number of rows and columns is not met. So you can use the draw tool or the pencil tool to have that created. So this is one of the options or the ways we can create or insert tables. So I'm going to delete this and we'll look at the other way. Okay, so I'll come to my insert tab, tables, and I'll come to the next option, which is insert tables. So if I click on this insert table, I'm going to have a dialog box in this form, and I have my table size, number of columns, and number of rows. So if you have a target number of columns, I'll add it, I'll put it here. Let's say I want 8 columns. So I'll write 8, I'll type 8 there. So I want 4 rows. I'll type 4 on the number of rows column. Okay. So now after entering the number of columns and rows, I'll click on OK. And as you can see, I have my table of 8 columns and 4 rows inserted or created. The same way, if you are not satisfied with this number of rows or columns, you can follow the same procedure to get them added. Let's say I want to add another row to the after the first row. So I'll come to the last end of it and I'll have this plus sign. I'll click on it and I'll have my new row added. So if I want to add columns, I can come to my insert tab and I'll pick my draw tool or pencil tool and I'll come, if I want to add a column here, I'll get it added. So this is the other way of inserting or creating our tables. So let's look at the other ways. I'll delete it and I'll come back to my insert tables. The other way is a draw table, okay, or the pencil tool. And this particular option is just like you drawing table on your paper, okay, with a pencil or a pen. So it's the same procedure. So if I pick it, I'll have, let's say this is my paper. So I have my pencil here. So I'll right click and hold, left click and hold, and I'll drag. Okay. I have this rectangular shape drawn. Okay. So now I want to enter some number of rows and some number of columns. Let's say I want 4 columns. So I'll draw one, sorry, I'll divide this into 4. So, sorry, 1, 2, 4. So I have my 4 columns, okay, in one row. So if I want to divide this row into several rows, so I can equally do that. So I'll bring my cursor to the horizontal, I'll draw my first row, this, that, and this. Okay, so now I have how many rows? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 rows and also 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 column table. Successful created. So now there are some tables that you have sections under each rows. Or let's assume this first row, apart from this first box, I want these 3 boxes to be divided into 2 rows. How am I going to do that? With my pencil tool, I can equally do that. I'll draw and I have my 2 rows inserted. So if I want 2 rows here too, I'll get it inserted. Okay. So this is how, and I believe we've encountered tables in this format. Yes. So let's assume here too, I want this table to be divided further into 2 columns. Okay. You can do that. So if you also want to draw diagonal lines on your table, you can draw. Okay. So you can see this is my diagonal line. Yes. So this is how we create or insert table using the draw tool or the pencil tool. So let's look at the next option, that is Excel spreadsheet. How to enter Excel spreadsheet. So I'll delete this table and I'll go back to my tables and I'll pick Excel spreadsheet. I'll click on it. Yes. And this will take a while because your Microsoft Word is communicating with your Excel to get the sheet. So that is why it delays small. So I have my Excel sheet here. So I'll click on it, and as you can see, I have my Excel spreadsheet inserted. So if your project need an Excel sheet, worry not, you can get it inserted using the tables. So what is the next option? I'll go back to my tables, and the last option, which is quick tables. Okay, this quick tables, that's if you want to enter a calendar. Okay, and we have the various formats of calendars. The calendar one, if you want this format, you pick it. If your project needs this format of calendar, you pick it. So if I want this first one, I'll pick it. So you can see I'll have this format, APA style format of calendar, APA format, sorry. So if I want different format, if I want, let's say this one, I'll get it, as you can see. So this is how we also enter quick tables, or we create quick tables. So this is how we create and also insert clean data tables to our documents. So the next thing we'll look at is page numbering. How do we set our page numbers? Very, very important. Okay, so we can still locate this page number option or tool in the header and footer group of the insert tab. Still in the insert tab. So you should take note, the tables and then the page numbering, both of them are in the tools under the insert tab. So you should take note of that. So I'll come to my header and footer group, and the last one is my page number. And we have predefined looks or formats of page numbers. So if I click on the drop down, as you can see, we have formats. Okay, we have the first one, which is top of page. If you want your page numbers to be at the top of the page, you pick that option. If you want bottom of the page, you want your page numbers to be at the bottom of the page, you pick down. If you want the page numbers to be at the margins, you will get your page number at the margins. Okay, and the current position too. The current position, talks about where you are, the page that you are currently on. So if you pick current position, that page alone will be affected by the numbering. The rest of the pages wouldn't have that number effect. So take note of that. And next of it is the format page numbers. Okay, this format. So if we click on it, that will give you a box, to give you a dialog box that you put in the number format that you want. Okay, so let's try with one of them, and you see how the numbering will appear. So if I pick the top of the page and I have this building formats. Okay, if I pick the first one, as you can see, my numbering will be at the top left corner of the page. And take note, the page numbering, currently I have one page. Okay, if I'm going to add any other new page, the numbering effect will be there. It won't be that if I'm going to add different or new page, I have to go through the same procedures to get it numbered immediately. Except from the current position. For the current position, that one only affect the this thing, the current position, that the current page that you are on or you are in. Okay, so if I'm going to add different page, new page, you can see the numbering effect is on the new page, page 2. So if I add another page, you see page 3. Okay, so how do we then remove these page numbers? Let's assume after numbering this document, you don't want this format. You can come back to your insert, go to your page numbering, and to the last option, remove page number. You click on it, and you get your page numbers disappear. So if you want to pick different format, let's assume I want bottom of the page. I want to the numbering should be at the bottom of the page. So we have building formats here. If I pick here, the first one is aligned to the left, and the second format is center, and then the last format is if you want it to be aligned to the right. So I'll pick that one. So if I want to center my page numbering at the bottom, I'll pick that one. As you can see, my page numbering is done at the bottom of each page. I have my page 1, I have my page 2, I have my page 3. So this is how we set up our page numbers. There are so many options, page numbering formats. Okay, there are plenty. Okay, so the margins too is here. If you want to your page numbers to be at the margins, you can also get it from there. All right. So I believe at this point, creation of tables and the setting of tables to your document and also setting up page numbers will no more be a problem to your project or your assignment or whatever project that you are going to be doing using Microsoft Word. So in our next model, we are going to look at exporting of Word documents, exporting to PDFs, and also converting PDFs back to Word document. So that will be our model 5 that we are going to look at. So thank you for watching. See you in the next model.